I just want to say good morning, everyone. I want to thank my beloved colleague as well, Sylvia Knight Norton, for really leading the way. I just want to make sure that we all understand that this AASL conference is the first time that the American Library Association has met in almost 2 years. I wouldn't have missed this for the world. And I want to thank you so much. I just want to take this opportunity to say that I am the product of a proactive and innovative school librarian. Growing up in South Central Los Angeles, our school librarian really took the opportunity to make sure that we had field trips and that we got a chance to actually see the rest of the city vis-a-vis various libraries, relationships that she made with other schools and also too with public library workers and staff all across the county of Los Angeles. And I really thank her because I learned so much about the opportunity to sort of travel outside of your familiar, and that was started for me vis-a-vis our school librarian. And so I had to be here. But I just want to say a couple of words. First of all, I just want to echo a panel, the opening plenary yesterday with school principals and superintendents speaking to the value of a well-supported, centered school library program. I thought that was extraordinary. And I want to echo something that was said that I truly believe, that school librarians are the heart of the school. I think about this because I live in Pullman, as far south in Chicago as you can get without being in Indiana. And Pullman is a factory town that was started by George Pullman, who manufactured the sleeping cars that were famed. And so I live really at the crossroads of three different railway systems, taking goods and people in all kinds of different directions in the Midwest. And when I think about the school library, I think about school libraries as being the switching station, if you will, of the school. I think about the fact that school libraries are the relationship hub of the school, that school libraries have an opportunity to not only connect teachers with resources and students with resources, but teachers to teachers and students to students. And so I want to own and I want to call out a well-funded and well-staffed school library as the relationship hub and the switching station of the school. Now, true to form, when I'm at a conference such as this, especially one where, school librarians are always schooling me, I'm always learning, I'm always trying to go to a little bit of this session and, this one, I can't miss this, so I'm going to try to be at a little bit of that. But one thing that I've been really heartened by is that there has been an interest and a focus on literacy as a foundation for learning. And I just want to thank you for taking it back to the foundations. I've heard sessions that have talked about information literacy, of course, digital literacy, cultural literacy, STEAM literacy, but also reading literacy. And I want to call out foundational reading literacy and numeracy as being so critically important to our work as librarians and as those of us who work in libraries. There are far too many people in some rural and in some urban communities. In some communities, we have as many as has 1 in 5 or 1 in 4 adults who have limited or very low literacy. So when we think about the school library, we have to think about the school library as having the capacity, if well-funded and well-staffed, to disrupt the kind of low levels of literacy that we have normalized in this country. So my call to action, I always issue one, even if I'm only going to talk for 5 minutes, is to say that we have to begin. We shouldn't be fighting for resources. We have to understand that in all those aspects of literacy, they all center school libraries. And I just want to say that if we begin to move from here and say, what are we going to do on next Monday? I think it's an opportunity to meet with the principal, to meet with the curriculum development specialists in the school, to meet with the superintendent, whoever it is, and say, I want to talk to you foundationally and fundamentally about the role of school libraries and why school libraries are the switching station and the potential disruptor of low levels of literacy or low educational attainment for students and for adults. Now, as I get ready to close, I want to think about this moment of the pandemic, and I want to think about what it has illuminated or shone a light on. I think what it has illuminated and shown a light on is a close connection between literacy and information access and public health disparities. If we didn't know that beforehand, we certainly do. In Illinois, where I live and where ALA is headquartered, our governor, J.B. Pritzker, as early as June 2020, before we had any type of vaccine at all on the horizon, he identified, along with his public health official and leader, identified limited and disparate information access and digital access as impediments to their ability to contain COVID-19 vaccine. And that makes me, I'm sorry, COVID-19, not the vaccine. We needed the vaccine, but COVID-19. But one of the things that I thought about how before his death, John Lewis had identified access to the internet and information access as the civil rights issue of our time. And I think about that. That's John Lewis. Always one step ahead, always looking around the corner, and smart enough to have been married to a librarian too, Lillian. But I want to say this as I get ready to step off the stage. With 3 of the most important quality of life indicators: access to education, access to employment, and access to public health being intermediated and resting on information platforms. This is our time, those of us who work in library and information services, and this is your time if you are a school librarian. No one should be doubting whether or not you should get the resources that you're asking for. This is our time. And truly, the future of our health as a country really rests on the work that you do every day. And so I'm just excited to be here, to continue to learn from you, and thank you so much. Thank you for your commitment, not only to AASL and to each other as specialists and as part of a network, but thank you for your commitment to the education of the future leaders and decision makers of this country. Thank you very much.